Hey folks, Jon and Will here from Men Talking Mindfulness. It's been a while since we checked in on this, and specifically what we're going to be talking about today is my fitness journey. So in November of last year, I committed to trying to work towards a physique competition that was originally going to be next month. That competition is still next month, but I fell off the bandwagon a little bit as far as eating, and my working out has been good, but my eating habits have not been great. So Will and I are going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about what it takes, the discipline that it takes to get there, why I fell off, giving myself some grace where I can, but also not letting myself have too much grace. And then talking about some other things that we've got in the near future that have to do with fitness. So Will, good to see you, my brother.
Good to be back, John. Thanks for putting yourself out there on this fitness journey. I
Yeah,
really appreciate you being this guy. It's awesome.
It's fun. It's it's not a little tough. It's very tough. This weekend we're coming off the tail end of July 4th weekend, and we celebrated with the family, and there was good food all around. And I definitely had some slips, but I've recommitted as of yesterday. So today is Tuesday, July 8th. The new competition is actually on November 18th.
Okay. That was my next question. I'm like, we have one on the schedule, right?
Yeah, so we do have one on the schedule, November 18th, and we'll see where things go with that. In between now and then, I've got a lot of work to do, so we'll talk about that. But yeah. Well,
let's talk. Let's jump right into that. Like, what has been slipping you? Like, what's like? It's almost like, is it the food calling to you? Is it a sabotage thing? Is it cravings? You know what I mean? And I say this because we've talked about it. Like, sugar is definitely something that it just, and the sugar also shows up in like those fucking hamburger buns or those,
it's
those
everywhere.
Chips and stuff like that. It's absolutely
it's
everywhere.
In your coffee.
Coffee, exactly.
Yeah.
So
sugar is a big one. Carbs. When I cut down carbs to very, very low numbers, I get pretty agitated. I get grumpy, and I get hangry is what it is. Even though I'm taking in a significant amount of calories, I'm not getting in the carbs as I need to. So what I've going to be transitioning to for the next few weeks, essentially, 19 weeks between now and November 18th, I'll be for the first half of that, I'll be kind of mixing some carbs in there, really looking to grow the muscle. And then after that halfway point, then it's on, as far as diet, cutting down on carbs significantly. So the idea is that you train your body to burn the carbs by having the carbs in the body and then depleting them, and also putting yourself into a calorie deficit. So between that first halfway point, it's only about a 200 calorie deficit between now and then starting midway between now and then, it's a 500 to 700 calorie deficit. So
and that's
all about
carbs.
Diet,
yeah, so that's all carbs, or that just
so that's calories just in general that I'll be cutting down on, but I'll be cutting down to next to zero carbs, as low as I can get for carbs for about 9 weeks, which will that'll try me, man, because I do love my carbs. But really what it all boils down to is discipline, which we've had multiple people on the show in the past couple of months to speak about discipline. And honestly, to be completely transparent, I underestimated how difficult the diet would be. Getting the gym is fun. Like, I love getting into the gym. Let me take that back. Once I'm in the gym, I love the gym.
I feel you, dude.
Getting to the gym is a difficult part. I am not a morning person anymore. I don't wake up at 4:30 like Jocko. I'll wake up at 5:30, but that's normally to start getting ready for the day and everything else. So when I hit the gym, it's normally after my kids go to sleep. Like, I was in the gym last night at 8:45, and I was there until 10:45, and then that's when I feel the gym is really calling to me. And once I get there, man, throwing the weight around, getting on the cardio equipment, I love that. But there's a gym that I work out down in Dallas, and it's got this sign up that says, "Congratulations, you're here. That's the hard part." And I thought, that's 100% true. It's 100% true. So
I mean, we just it's all about how many times have we talked on the show about just show up, and just and how many what that's saying is it's like 80% or 90% of success is just showing up, because then you put yourself in that situation and you go to the gym. It's just like, not like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. It's like, oh, I'm at the fucking gym. I'm going to do my workout. Might as well do something. And then it's like, and maybe lethargically and like begrudgingly you do that first thing and just kind of, then you get the juice from like, oh, wait, I'm starting to feel great. I'm going to do more. And it's like, especially when you have a goal like you're working towards, it's just like, I mean, that's even more of a motivation.
Yeah.
Well, I know you have a DEXA scan, but what I want to do, what I want to do first is like, I thought it was very interesting to hear that you get hangry when you don't have carbs.
Oh man!
Now is that? I mean, let me just preface that with so even if you supplement that with protein or something else, you still are fucking hangry.
Oh yeah, like
really?
It's, oh yeah, man. Wow. I'm taking in a tremendous amount of protein. It's like 240 grams a day of protein, and that's chicken, turkey, tuna, protein shakes, eggs, cottage cheese. So it's primarily fat and protein right now. But again, I forget the numbers. I don't have those in front of me. But between now and the halfway point, so between now and November is the physique competition. Halfway from now, I'll be taking in carbs, basically just to feed my body, and then making sure it knows that carbs should be digested. Like people who are on the keto diet or very low carb diet for very long term, their body forgets how to burn carbs. So it takes a while to relearn that. But we want our bodies to know how to burn carbs and then deplete them, and that's when there's fewer carbs to be burned.
That's interesting to bring that up, because like I'm very, very low carb, like very, very low carb. But when I have a high carb diet or high carb meal like pasta, I'm like ripping farts, dude. I mean, I'm just fucking ripping.
I'm the same way with protein, though. Protein, like it messes with my belly. I will say that the amount of protein that I'm taking in it definitely does cause gas.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just like every time I eat a lot of carbs, I'm like, oh my God, dude. I'm like, this is embarrassing. I normally don't have any gas. I mean, I'm like, just my diet in transparency is like just a lot of protein and veggies. That's basically it. And so I'm like, what I've adapted to is I call it like fiber first. So I'm like chia seeds in the morning, blueberries, some dates, and that's really it until the afternoon. And then I'll have I'm doing like a 4 and 5 egg breakfast. With like I'll throw like sausage and bacon and fucking I'm living.
Oh, I know, man.
Liverwurst now.
I've eaten some of the food that you cook, man. It's freaking awesome.
And
I will tell you, those dates and those blueberries, they have a significant amount of sugar in them.
Well, right, but that's why I'm eating them first.
Yeah,
because it's like I figured. Well, what I've learned about carbs and sugar is like and I have a science background and studied and understand some of the nutrition behind it. It's like anytime you have like a carbon chain in your body, like a sugar, like very available complex carbohydrates and just sugar, it's the easiest for your body to digest, so it's the first place it goes. So immediately, that's why you get like the sugar high. It's like, oh yeah, sugar in my body, and you get all that, and then you get that dump, right? The glucose. Same thing with like carbohydrates. So I eat like the dates has a lot of fucking sugar, and so do the blueberries. But like I don't know if it's what the glycemic level is, meaning like the higher the glycemic level, the higher the mood swing. Yeah. So, but that's what I've been doing, and like I just like my body's just used to like almost zero fucking carbs. But anyway, like it's interesting that you get so there's definitely a mood shift difference when you're low carb deficient.
100%, man. Like, I am My kids even notice it. Like they don't
calling you out.
They don't say, "Hey, Dad, you need to eat more carbs," but they're like, "Dad, what's wrong?" Like I'm getting grumpy around the stupidest stuff. But
right.
yeah.
Well, I'm just thanks for dropping in there. Maybe if there's anybody out there that knows like what that's going on there or something like that, and maybe John, you're probably talking to people too. It'd be interesting to hear people's thoughts because like I've actually never heard that before.
Oh,
and it's just like one particular. Like loss in your diet or certain nutrient can really that's really impressive.
Yeah.
So
definitely felt that.
Yeah. Well, how about the DEXA scan, man?
Yeah. So I was getting them every month, and then kind of along the lines of falling off the bandwagon with the diet, I fell off the bandwagon with the DEXA scans. So the last one I got was May 13th. So today's July 8th. So what is that? Almost 2 months, 7 weeks or so. So I'm looking at the data here. It compares my January 3rd to May 13th to July 8th. So my first one to the last one to today's. So weight in pounds. In January, I was 225 pounds. May, I was 205 pounds. And today I was 212. So I've gone up 7 pounds.
Okay.
So not huge because I ended up gaining lean muscle. So I've gained 6 pounds of lean muscle since May, which is good.
Okay.
So that means I'm eating the protein, but I also gained 1.5 pounds of fat. Not terrible, but I'm heading in the wrong direction in regards to fat. So I ended up last time I was at 21. So back in January, I was 29.2% fat.
Okay,
that's pretty high for me. And I put this disclaimer out every time. This is not fat shaming. This is not me saying that in any shape, form, or fashion that people listening need to do the same thing. This is just what makes me comfortable in my skin, and maybe I do need to address this myself. But for right now, I'm working on getting lean and getting healthy. And we talked about this last time. Maybe it was 2 times ago. I feel more capable now, capable of playing with my kids, running with my kids.
Yeah.
Heck, I went to Topgolf a couple weeks ago, and sometimes with Topgolf, I'm all out of whack, all out of balance. Like this DEXA scan gives you what your left arm is compared to your right arm, what your left leg is compared to your right leg. And I was all out of balance. And now I'm in line. My body is symmetrical as far as arms and legs.
You're talking like mass?
Mass,
okay.
like lean mass and fat.
Right, but also bilateral mass, like your balance more left and right.
Correct.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Then coming back to my body fat percentage back in January was 29%. In May, it was 21.2, and now it's 21. So lost a little bit of body fat percentage, not as much as I would like to, but still heading in the right direction. And then the visceral fat, that's
let me just so the goal on the body fat is what, 9%?
Yeah. The goal originally was to get to 8%. I checked between now and November. That's probably overly aggressive. Okay. So if I can get to 10%, I'm most likely not going to win this competition of it. But
the point.
The point is to have a goal to work towards, and then do something that's scary, like standing up on stage flexing. That's not something I'm comfortable with, man.
I'm going to be there, John. I'm fucking flying. Denver is again this one?
Yeah, this one's in Denver.
I'll be there. So you talk about visceral fat then before I cut you
so
off.
Visceral fat, it went up last time, but now it's back down. So I started in January with 3.26 pounds of visceral fat. Last month I was down to 2.0, and then this month I'm down to 1.88. So I'm trending in the right direction there. Bottom line,
visceral fat's that belly fat, yeah?
Visceral fat, no, it's not belly fat. It's the fat around the organs.
Oh, okay.
Which is, some of it is around the belly, but it's all around the heart, around the lungs. So we want the visceral fat. Bottom line is I've dropped that from the beginning, not just as far as weight, but cubic inches. I've lost 40 cubic inches of visceral fat, which is crazy to think about.
Wow. And the let me just ask, so a good healthy body visceral fat, what would that be?
Yeah, so it's actually a ratio. It's and I'm going to screw this up, but I think it's a ratio of visceral fat to waist and belly size or something. I forget, but there's some magic number that you're trying to get below 1. So let's see, what was it?
I'm doing a little.
Don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, that's okay. But I'm actually gonna find it out. But keep going, keep rolling. I got you. Perplexity. Yeah. I'm a perplexity dude.
Oh yeah, so perplexity.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I mean, I can. This is just a summary of it. Let me see if I can bring up the actual.
Go for it,
man. So visceral fat. Geez, my eyes. I'm looking at this on my phone now. So visceral fat. What is visceral apt?
Well, I have right here. You want me to? I could read it.
Yeah.
It's a healthy visceral fat person.
Android to gynoid ratio. So android fat is concentrated in the lower abdominal region. Gynoid fat is concentrated in the hips, upper thighs, and buttocks. And for optimal distribution, android fat percentage should be less than your total body fat percentage, and your AG ratio should be less than 1. So I went from 1.33 to 1.3. So I'm approaching the healthier ratio.
Well, I think it might be a good little learning tool here for our audience. It's like a healthy visceral fat percentage is generally considered to be around 10% of your body fat. 10%.
There you go. 10%.
That means that if you know that your body fat percentage, you can estimate your visceral fat by taking about 10% of that number. For example, if your total body fat is 25%, a healthy visceral fat amount would be roughly 2.5% of your total body weight. Key points. 10% of your total body fat is the typical healthy threshold for visceral fat in adults. Visceral fat is the fat stored deep in your abdominal cavity, like you mentioned, surrounding your organs. Yeah. While some is necessary for organ protection, excessive visceral fat increase the risk of serious heart conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. Waist circumference is a practical at-home indicator. Just everyone listening, waist circumference is a practical at-home indicator for visceral fat risk. For women, 35 inches, which is 88 centimeters, is or more suggests elevated visceral fat. For men, 40 inches. You lost like 40 some inches. You said, right?
40 cubic inches.
Yeah. Okay. So for men, 40-inch waist, this would be or is considered high risk. And measurement notes: precise visceral fat measurement typically requires imaging like a DEXA scan, a CT, or MRI scan. These can be routinely used for screening. More home scales and body composition devices estimate visceral fat based on algorithms. But and that's really it. Maintaining visceral fat near or below 10% of your body fat is associated with lower cardiac metabolic risk. If you are concerned about your visceral fat, consult your healthcare provider for personalized assessments and guidance. There we go, Joe.
There you go. I did learn something. And while you were saying that, I put it into my AI on my side, ChatGPT, and I compared the visceral fat to the total fat, and I'm at 4.02%. So pretty good.
Wow.
So the 10% is healthy, and I'm half of that. So I'm feeling pretty good, and I awesome. Feel that like it's not just the capable side of things, but I feel better. Like I sleep better, and I think we've talked about that a bit. Just carrying less weight around requires way less energy every day. So I'm able to get to the gym. So it's kind of this self-fulfilling cycle.
Well, I'm curious, what is your sleep like these days? I mean, you're tracking it because I would imagine, like as you're getting healthier, as your body isn't in like almost a state of crisis because of all this extra fat you have in your body, I'd imagine that you're going to restore more, you're going to sleep better, you're going to, be a little more refreshed. So is that what you're experiencing over this journey?
Yeah, I am for sure. So my sleep is deeper. I get up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom, and in the past I would I would get back to the bed and stew and stay awake. But now I'm physically tired, right? Getting to the gym, yes, it gives you energy in the day, but it also makes you tired and makes you sleep better. So it's not just the fact that my body is in better state to sleep, it's also the amount of energy that I'm using. So the body needs to recover, so I'm sleeping better. And I mentioned this before, I'm on testosterone, I'm on Morelin, which is kind of a thing that helps to promote natural human growth hormone. And I was on something called tirzepatide, and tirzepatide is something that helps to curb your appetite. But I've done some research on that, and for what it is that I'm wanting to do, it's not ideal because it actually can eat into your body muscle, decrease your body muscle. So ultimately, it's not great. But for those who are potentially looking to get a jump start to their weight loss, it can be helpful. But I'm certainly no medical professional, but I will say what I've learned through it is that you have to take in even more protein because it is a peptide, and therefore kind of substitutes protein in your muscles. So it thinks that it's getting the protein when it's actually not. So you have to take in more protein and do more resistance exercises to maintain the muscle. So, so I was already doing a lot and already taking a lot of protein, and I was starting to see a decrease in muscle. So I thought, okay, it's time to stop this. But if it is something that you're looking to jumpstart your fat loss or weight loss journey yourself, then it might be something to talk to your doctor about. But again, that's not me.
Yeah, I think I have one more question, and I think we're pretty good. If you feel like we've done, one thing that I've actually seen that because I'm still a Whoop guy, and I've really been very cognizant of my HRV. I want my HRV to go up.
Sure.
And it has. I've actually risen over a 6-month period. I've taken my HRV from. And HRV is also unique. We're trying to get an expert on. We're trying to get Kristen Holmes, calling her out from Whoop, but she's been Whoop. She's been just blowing us off. Anyone knows Kristen Whoop from Whoop?
Kristen Holmes.
Kristen Holmes. Send her our way. But HRV is unique to everybody, so numbers are not like ubiquitous.
Comparable.
They're all comparable. They're very different. They vary. But my numbers. My average 6 months ago was like 25 or 27.
Holy cow.
And now it's, I know, really low, right? I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, I really, pride myself on my health and everything. And now it's gone up to almost 32, which is great.
Nice.
I think even a little bit more, which is pretty significant, And what HRV indicates, which I think it's a really good barometer for how you're doing. Because if you have a high HRV and maintain a higher HRV, that means your body is in a greater state of rest, or just kind of out of like more of that reactive mode and into more of like that, more of like just present and parasympathetic state. So that's like one thing to watch out with HRV. But what I've seen that's really shifted my HRV significantly, and this also goes to my question to you, it's like I stopped eating. I'm going to bed now on an empty stomach.
Yep.
So my fucking last meal, and it's tough, like to organize your diet in this way, is my last meal is like at 6 or 6:30.
Yeah.
So when I go to bed at like 9:30, 10, like I'm on an empty stomach, and I've seen this is how I've made these gains in my HRV. But also on this empty stomach, not only does my HRV increase dramatically, which gives me that more of like a rested state of being, but my deep sleep goes up, and so is my and so does my so I get a deep state of rest, which is awesome. And that's like for anybody out there, when you get into the deep sleep, that's when your body's recovering, restoring. So it's creating new muscle fibers and repairing joints, and all these wonderful things that our body does.
Which is critical to growth, right?
Very critical.
If I'm looking to grow muscle, that's a critical piece, is that deep sleep. And so what I've seen is the same. However, right now, because I am working out in the evening and I try to get protein in me afterwards, I do a protein shake before I go to sleep. And what else will wreck your heart rate very heart rate variability is drinking alcohol before sleep or cannabis before sleep, too much cannabis. It can really wreck your sleep. But that also not just wrecks your heart rate variability, but also can wreck your deep sleep. So you think that you're resting well, but you're really not.
Yeah, one thing with weed and me, and I'm definitely evening toker typically, is my heart rate goes up when I smoke weed.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I could see, my heart rate as I'm resting in bed and like maybe watching something on Netflix or something. It's like it starts at like 80 because I'll have like fucking some indica before I go to sleep, and my heart rate goes up, and you can just see it start to slowly as I sleep trend down. But also what I've been doing is like instead of smoking, I'll just do a little like 5 minutes of breath work and really start at a low heart rate, and dude, it drops me right into a long deep sleep, into the REM sleep. But I don't know, it's just it's like I think what's important for people to know is like protect your sleep. It's not just about burning calories, working out, building muscle, which is really important, but you must honor the dark side, if you will, or like the of our experience. It's like, instead of energy out, right? What about like restoring, and refreshing our energy, and that's where sleep's going to come in. So we're going to have Robert Sweetman actually coming on, I think in October or something like that, to teach us more about sleep and some great sleep hacks and stuff like that. So we'll have that.
Yeah, Rob's great. He's come on before, and he's got some more since then. He's the sleep genius, former SEAL, medically retired SEAL, who's turned himself into the sleep genius, and he truly is that. He lives and breathes sleep. He's
a great fucking dude.
So the other thing real quick before we get off is hydration. We've talked about that on the show before, having our episode on Quench, and the water that you take in is important, but you also have to take in some type of electrolytes and omega-3 fatty acids, and that's been very helpful with making sure that I have the energy to go after this, and it also helps you recover. So that's where I'm at. So I guess bottom line is I'm still making progress, not making as quick progress as I had hoped, but we've rescheduled or bumped the physique competition from August, which is next month, to November. So I've got some time, but definitely need to rededicate to the discipline and the diet. The diet is the hard part.
Last question. What's going to be different with your diet this time? What's like one thing commit to? We talk about one thing, right? One thing principle. What's one thing or a plan that you have in place to go forward?
I'm tracking it a lot more closely again. I was like, oh, this is too much work. I'm sure I can just kind of guess at it and not eat as much crap, but that's not true. I'm tracking it in this macro factor app, and that helps a lot. Seeing the data, seeing the numbers. I'm a data guy, and that I have to see it. So what is it? What you measure is what you manage.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can't manage it, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it, right?
Yeah.
Or if you don't know the metrics, then how do you know? It's just like numbers are very important, and even in this. So, thanks for sharing all this, John. And it's like, dude, I mean, thanks for the vulnerability. Thanks for being an example for people. Like, it's not like. Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they go on a journey like this, whatever it is, like whether they're trying to develop a meditation practice or take care of something fitness-wise, or they're trying to learn a new skill, we just believe, for whatever our mind fools us into believing, that it's just like this slow linear upgrade, trajectory, right? Where it's just like, fuck, dude, it's a total mess. Sometimes you drop down, you fall out, you can't even find the map. And then it's like, but just get back on and keep showing up, like you said, and we'll check back in. Late August would be great to hear how's it going. But it's good to check back. I'm really excited for you. I know our community, I could say, is everyone that's listening is really rooting for you.
Thanks,
and like lean into me and the community. Let us know we can help support you on this journey, because we really appreciate you putting it out there and showing us what's possible.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Well, thanks. Thank you for that support to you, Will. Thank you to the community. And yes, I'll keep you updated, and we'll talk again next month.
Yeah. Peace, everybody. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Awesome. That was longer than we thought.